Hi everybody, today we'll be talking about college admissions officers' biggest pet peeves. Hi everybody, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Joey and I'm the Perfect Score Tutor. I've been helping students with the SAT and ACT as well as college admissions for the last 15 years. So before we dive into some of these pet peeves, I just want to give a couple disclaimers. As part of my work, I actually get to meet with a lot of college admissions counselors, so I go to some conferences all over the country, and I also do workshops with them. So a lot of this information is information that I've gotten through just conversations, as well as working with them through some professional development and workshops and stuff like that. I've also done a lot of reading. I've also been in college admissions myself, so all this stuff is anecdotal. So because of that, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is not reflective of any of the admissions policies of any particular college. These are just comments that we share with each other in passing that I wanted to share with you. And please don't be one of those people that says they swear that they heard somebody from such and such college say one of these things, because this is not meant to be one of those. These are just meant to be more guidelines as you navigate the college admissions process. So the first one is directed towards parents. Please do not be that parent who calls college admissions officers 15 times. After a while, they'll figure out who you are, and then they'll figure out who your kid is. College admissions officers are smart. So instead, please encourage your students to exercise their agency and autonomy and call the admissions officers to ask whatever questions, or email the admissions officers directly. Do not start pestering them with questions about requirements, or should they include this comma in their application, or they took this really cool picture that I want to share with you. I understand the need and the want to do that, but please let your kid take the front seat in this process. The next thing is resumes. So a lot of colleges are starting to ask for the optional resume. There's this trend for kids wanting to submit 3, 4, 5-page resumes, and please don't have them do that. So for me as an adult, right, I have maybe a 1-page resume, maybe 2 pages if I really want to push it. Kids should not be doing that. And in fact, for a lot of colleges, kids don't even need to submit resumes because they have their activity list. And a lot of times the resume is just an exact reflection of the activity list. So this comment applies to most schools. There are a few schools, I'm looking at you, Texas, that do want expanded resumes. So please proceed with caution and do your research. But just in general, you should have a resume for internship purposes, and make sure it's concise and fits on 1, maybe 2 pages. Pet peeve number 3. So be careful when you're using writing tools like spell check or Grammarly or those types of things, because they don't catch all your spelling errors and they might not help you get your point across in the best way possible. For example, there's this one college admissions counselor who's gone on record talking about the kid who really loves Julie Taymor and then ended up writing her essay about the Loin King. So these are types of things that spell check won't pick up. So in fact, have somebody that you trust read through your entire application, and then it might even make sense to run your application through some sort of plagiarism checker, because there's ChatGPT and AI and that sort of stuff that's going on. Making sure you submit everything early. So a lot of colleges are going to give you a little bit of a grace period, right? So if their application is due on November 1st, then they're going to wait a couple days for your teacher letters of recommendation, your counselor letters of recommendation. But there are also some schools out there that want everything by that deadline, including the supplemental student academic record that you have to upload that you can only get to after you submit your application. So when I'm working with my students, I ask them to submit everything 7 days early so I can review it, so that they can submit their application, open their portal, check to see if there's anything that's missing so that they can verify without feeling like the world is on fire. Number 5 is about maximizing your real estate. In a lot of applications, you only have so many spaces to fill out, and then a lot of students feel the need to repeat a bunch of stuff over and over again. So they'll type out their activities, and then in their essay, they list out all their activities again, and then their teachers, a letter of recommendation, mention the same activities over and over again. So by the time you've gotten through their entire application, you feel like you've just kind of seen the same thing over and over again. So as you're planning your application, make sure that each piece, each component, brings up something new so that the reader feels like they're learning more and more about you as they go deeper and deeper into your application. Frequently asked questions. I don't know if you've ever been to a college fair or ever attended a school visit. If not, you should look into doing that. But when you meet with the admissions counselor, think about the types of questions that you're going to ask them. They've met hundreds, if not thousands of students, and there are certain questions that they get over and over again that they've told me that they're sick of.
Do you have a psychology program? Is your biology program good?
They're supposed to be saying that their programs are good, otherwise they wouldn't be doing their job. So instead, think about asking questions that you might not be able to find on the website. Ask questions about the campus culture, ask them about maybe fun traditions that they have, ask them about their favorite spot to visit on campus, or ask them about, maybe an application that they've read that they really liked. Make your frequently asked questions less frequent. Number 8 is about the most repetitive cliches. So when you're writing your application essay, students feel the need to okay, I have to come up with this completely original idea and I have to be super unique. That's not it. You don't need to do that, and I don't want you to feel the pressure to feel like you're writing some masterpiece in your essay. But if you're going to focus on some of the common topics, so what are some of the common topics? Sports, maybe injury. Focus on how you specifically have grown. So this is going to take time and some introspection. If you're one of those students who are struggling with figuring out those deeper connections, you may want to reach out to a trusted professional to help you develop those ideas. I think there's certain types of topics, and I'll include a link to the video below, that end up being cliche, especially if you rush those ideas. Number 9 is about copy pasta. I get the desire. Students are now applying to 20, 30, you see students applying to 50 schools. And then, so with these kids who are like, okay, I'm applying to all these schools and they require all these supplemental essays, then you feel like, okay, I'm just gonna copy paste something. I've met with admissions officers who've seen that the school is misspelled, or maybe they work for UT Austin, but then they see Texas A&M in their supplemental essay. You can still work on the same themes. You can even have some of the same hooks, intros, some of the same sentences, but you want to make sure that the essay you're writing speaks specifically to that school's questions and speaks specifically to that school's unique opportunities. The next one is about program readiness. So this is one of my pet peeves, even though I'm no longer in the admissions office facing students. A lot of students don't understand what the graduation requirements are for certain majors. For example, the big one is business. Every student thinks that they want to go in business when they don't have any idea what else they may want to study, but then they don't realize that to be competitive for some business programs, you're going to need pre-calculus, if not calculus. And then these are students who are maybe getting a C in Algebra 2. And then I have to tell them, wait, do not waste your application applying for business at this school because you aren't even admissible. If there's a certain major that you're looking into, look at the graduation requirements for that major. Look at the admission requirements. Some schools have specific major requirements listed out for certain selected majors. Those selected majors might be engineering, nursing, business, art and design. All right, this last one is about college fit. Colleges have spent a lot of time, energy, and even money working on their identity. They have mission statements. They've selected their professors with a certain type of environment and ethos that they're trying to create. You, as an educated future college student, your job is to research if a college is a good fit for you. Do not just go down the top 20 list of US News and World Report to create your college list, because each of those colleges has something different, and oftentimes they're seeking a different type of student. So what that means is you have to ignore the media reports about the kid who got into all 8 Ivy League colleges, because for you, have to figure out what sort of positive attributes you have in your profile and figure out if that matches with what the college is looking for. So if you can narrow down your options for college choices by focusing on best fit, I promise you, you're going to be in for a much less stressful college admissions process. So if you've made it this far, congratulations, you made it through all the pet peeves that I want to talk about. But I have a question for you. Are you an admissions counselor? If so, I want you to leave a comment below telling me about, are there any pet peeves that I've missed? And if you're a student, leave a comment below telling me why you think you're a really good fit for the college of your choice. A couple takeaways I want you all to take away as you're going through the admissions process. Number 1, start early. Number 2, make sure you do your research so you not only understand the fit of the college, but also the curriculum requirements of any program that you're applying to. Number 3, make sure you take time for introspection. How are you going to fit into college? What type of community member are you going to bring? How are you going to contribute to whatever program you're applying to? Colleges really want to know that about you. Lastly, understand that even though you do the best job possible, that colleges do have institutional priorities that might not match what you have to offer. And that's okay. As long as you prepare for this thoughtfully and methodically, you're going to have options in your college journey. And I will see you next time.